Hello and welcome to Galaxy TV News. My name is Irebami Salako. We begin with headlines. Another witness emerges in the ongoing trial of former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Plus on the news, Defense Headquarters dispels reports that it appointed the senior officer as the acting chief of army staff. From the international scene, the UN's humanitarian organization says over 1 million people in South Sudan are affected by floods across much of the country. Details of these and more coming to your way soon. To stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now details of the news. A witness in the ongoing trial of the former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele Ghana, on Monday, informed the Federal Capital Territory High Court Abuja how a company, April 1616, got preferential treatment in vehicle procurement contract at the Central Bank of Nigeria under the leadership of Godwin Emefiele. The prosecution witness, PW10, who was head of procurement department at the time, stated this when being led in evidence by the prosecution counsel. Rotimi Oyedepo-San confirmed that he was in office during the period that the contracts for vehicles contained in exhibits F4 to F45 were approved. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reports that Ghana was testifying in an alleged 20-count amended charge preferred against Emefiele by Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). The witness told the court that Toyota vehicles obtained at the cost of 99,900,000 naira were acquired by CBN from April 1616 through direct procurement. He added that selective bidding was then approved by Emefiele, who was governor, within his approval limit of 100 million naira. Referring to Exhibit F5, Ghana said 2 Toyota Hilux were obtained at the cost of 23,100,000 naira each through selective bidding. He said April 1616, which was among two others, was awarded the contract, having placed the lowest bid and aligning with the CBN's in-house estimate of the same sum. The Defense Headquarters has dispelled reports that it appointed the senior officer as acting chief of army staff. The COAS Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, who has been on leave and out of the country since September, fueled speculation about his health. Amid the rumors of his death, another report emerged claiming the DHQ had appointed an acting chief of army staff. Refuting the report in a statement on Monday, the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, said there is no provision for the acting chief of army staff in the armed forces of Nigeria. Dismissing an insinuation of a vacuum, Gusau clarified that the Chief of Policy and Plans, Major General Abdulsalam Ibrahim, has been providing routine briefs to the COAS under the standard operating procedures. He said the Defense Headquarters has not announced the appointment of any senior officer as acting chief of army staff, contrary to speculations by certain media outlets. For the record, no such appointment exists within the AFN, he said. Operatives of the Joint Task Force under leadership of the 6th Division Nigerian Army have arrested 5 suspected oil thieves while also taking out 32 illegal refinery sites in the Rivers community of Egbe Mandoni, local government area of the state. JTF, in a statement by Acting Deputy Director, 6th Division Nigerian Army, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma Jonah, said numerous cooking drums and over 250,000 liters of stolen products were recovered. According to the statement, wooden boats used to convey stolen products and sacks with over 2,000 liters of stolen crude oil as well as illegal refining sites were also destroyed. The troops also confiscated over 12,000 liters of illegally refined products in Delta and arrested the suspected oil thief in the line of duty. The General Officer commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Jamal Abdulsalam, while commending officers and men of the JTF for their gallantry, said the Joint Task Force will not relent until illegal activities are brought to the barest minimum in the Niger Delta region. And now to speak on local government autonomy and the place of LCDA in the system, we have Tolu Babaleye, who is joining us from Abuja, legal practitioner. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us today.
Good evening for inviting me. Thank you.
Alright, so what's your perspective on the current state of local government autonomy in Nigeria?
Well, the local government autonomy in Nigeria is still an issue in the front burner of national politics. Even though the Supreme Court has given judgment granting autonomy to the local government, but we are yet to see the implementation. Because at the last hearing of money from the federation account to all the tiers of government, the money meant for the local government was still transferred to the state government. That is not within the spirit and the letters of the judgment handed down by the Supreme Court. And it is wrong, it is illegal.
The local government elections conducted so far in some states. To what extent would you say the state government has and will interfere with local government administration?
Honestly, no state government is willing to allow local government autonomy because they have become used to spending the money of the local government in the way they like without accountability. And that is the mischief that the federal government is trying to cure when they now took the matter to the Supreme Court. But unfortunately, after handing down the judgment, you can see that some state governments are trying to cut corner by trying to make law to drag back the hands of the judgment. You saw what happened in Anambra State, where the governor made law that the local government allocation are supposed to be contributed to the coffers of the state government. So in an account that they call joint account, which is already nullified by the Supreme Court. You also saw what is happening in Lagos State, where they are trying to make a law to try to legalize the LCDAs by saying that the governor can appoint chairman to the LCDAs, and from the local government from which the LCDAs were created, the powers can be delegated to the LCDA chairman to be acting as on behalf of the chairman of the main local government. So these are ways of circumventing the Supreme Court judgment. And in my opinion, this is not correct. It is illegal.
So what policy reforms would you recommend to enhance local government autonomy in Nigeria?
To enhance local government autonomy in Nigeria, I would recommend that one, there must be uniform election. A system of election where the governors dictate who wins. You can even see what is happening in all the state government where elections have been conducted into the local government. The ruling party have always won all the local governments, which is illegal. So the best way to do is to tinker with the constitution, amend the constitution, and delete state independent electoral commission that they call state INEC, delete it from the constitution completely, and give the power to INEC, that is Independent National Electoral Commission, to conduct the election into the local governments. We have a little bit of sanity. And the federal government too should also send money, tell the local government, all the local government in Nigeria to open account and submit the account to the federation account so that they can always send money directly to them instead of routing the money to the state government.
Okay, all right. So what would you say are the possible challenges that would come up as regards of local government autonomy, especially states with local government development area, that's the LCDA, because in some states it's a deep part of your system. So what challenges do you think they might run into?
Please repeat the question.
Okay, all right. I was asking that what would you say are the possible challenges that could come up as regards local government autonomy, especially those states that has LCDA deeply ingrained in them?
The issue is that where the LCDAs are created, with the Supreme Court judgment, all the FCDAs that are not listed in the Constitution, Schedule 3, where local governments in Nigeria are listed 774. If any name is not listed, that name is illegal. It is illegal to all, I mean, with all intents and purposes, it is illegal, and it should be made so. So the only way to the NCDAs are, I mean, they are considered serious problem to the functioning of the local government as autonomy. I mean, as autonomous local government, which the Supreme Court anticipated in their judgment. So the only way to do it is that the Federation account should deal with the 774 local governments that were created and that are known to the Constitution. So if any state decides to create a new local government, it will follow the constitutional procedure of doing that as checked in section 7 and 8 of the Constitution.
Okay, all right. We thank you so much for sharing with us from the wealth of your experiences. Thank you so much for being on Galaxy TV News.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right, that's Tolu Babaleye, a legal practitioner who joined us live from Abuja. Now moving on with the rest of our stories, Anambra State Police Commissioner CP Nagi Bono has led operatives of the command on an on-the-spot assessment after 5 persons were killed in a court-related clash at Nibo community on Sunday. The command, in a statement by spokesperson Tochukwu Ikenga made available to newsmen on Monday, said the Anambra Police Commissioner led other senior officers to ascertain the remote cause with a view to bringing the perpetrators to book. The command frowned at the act of the deceased relatives to bury evidence, suppress information and disrupt the ongoing investigation. The Anambra Police Commissioner, after over an hour inspection at the scene of the dastardly act, said the command will leave no stone unturned in hunting down the assailants. It will be recalled that 5 persons were killed, with 3 fatally injured when rival court group clashed during a New Yam festival on Sunday at Nibo community in Anambra State. You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on the break. When we come back, the news continues. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. The People's Democratic Party in Ondo State has insisted on its call for the removal of the state resident electoral commissioner Oluwatoyin Babalola over our indigenship. The party, in a letter addressed to Chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, said the Commission's failure to mention a state of origin in its rebuttal already cast doubt on the integrity of the election. INEC, however, said since the calls were not backed by any credible evidence of unethical or criminal act against the REC in question, she would not be redeployed. Making reference to his background checks, the PDP said INEC failed to do a diligent check on Babalola to know that the Ondo REC grew up in the state with the parents residing in Akure, the state capital. Even if not an indigent by birth, the PDP stressed that Babalola particularly qualified as an Ondo indigent, having lived in the state for over 10 years. In the letter addressed to INEC chairman, signed by the state secretary of the PDP, Oluseyi Olujimi, the opposition party said the deployment of REC was urgently needed to restore public confidence in the Commission's integrity to deliver a credible Ondo governorship election. The National Examinations Council (NECO) has warned school owners and other relevant stakeholders to desist from enrolling candidates from its examinations by proxy. In a statement signed by AG Director Information and Public Relations Aziz Sani, the Council observed that such fraudulent practice often results in identity theft and subsequent parade of fake results. Determined to eradicate all forms of examination malpractice, the Council said it has put in place the measures to check impersonation in all its examinations. Some of the measures include the use of biometric data capturing device, use of customized answer booklet, and embossing a photograph and date of birth of candidates on the original certificates. The Council therefore called on state ministries of education and other school owners to ensure that all the personal details of genuine candidates are used for registration in all NECO-conducted examinations. It warned that candidates that were found capable of impersonation in the just-released 2024 Senior School Certificate Examination internal had their result withheld. The measure, according to NECO, is part of the Council's robust policy to check all forms of examination malpractice. The federal government has stressed the need to invent agroecology and organic farming for food security and development across Nigeria and West Africa. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kyari gave the indication at the opening ceremony of the Regional Forum for Agroecology and Organic Agriculture in West Africa, held in Abuja on Monday. Kyari, who was represented by the Director, Planning and Policy Coordination of the Ministry, Taminu Ibrahim, stated that the invention of the mechanism will hold the promotion of innovative approach to agricultural development, while emphasizing the importance of agroecology and organic farming. Tinubu said it will help to ensure food security in terms of quality and quantity, improving livelihood and health to protecting the environment.
As we strive to build food security future, agroecology and organic agriculture offers a compelling solution. By embracing sustainable agricultural practices, we can enhance biodiversity, improve soil health, and promote ecosystem services. Agroecology and organic agriculture also empowers smallholder farmers, particularly women, to take charge of their livelihoods and contribute to the local economic growth.
Available financial instruments, those to be invented or reinvented, policies to be rethought and re-updated to meet the challenges of our regional food and nutritional sovereignties and the particular challenge that our farmers are facing on a daily basis.
Other members who spoke at the event charged relevant stakeholders to mobilize necessary resources, implement initiatives that will demonstrate tangible results, and advocate for robust public policies, financing mechanisms, and interventions that recognize the long-term benefit of agroecology.
Our collective task is to mobilize the necessary resources, implement initiatives, and demonstrate tangible results and advocate for robust public policies, financing mechanisms, and interventions that recognize the long-term benefits of agroecology. These benefits are not only environmental, but also social and economic.
Agri-Climate Fund. To our participants, we encourage active engagement, questions, and sharing of experience. This sharing of experience becomes very important because we have gathered people from diverse backgrounds, and when we harvest this experience, we use it to decide how to move on.
Now we move to the international desk for more news.
Hello and welcome to the foreign news. Over 1 million people in South Sudan have been affected by floods across much of the country, the UN's humanitarian organization has said. More than a quarter of those men in the north have been forced from their homes by rising waters. OCHA said that the displaced were seeking refuge on higher grounds, but the rains have also meant that getting aid to those who need it had become increasingly difficult. This is one of the worst flood seasons that South Sudan, a country with a population of more than 11 million people, have experienced in recent decades. In Pibor in the east, 112,000 people have lost their homes, according to a government relief agency there. Those who had fled to higher grounds don't even have food. They left everything in that previous location. Joseph Neo, Director of Relief and Rehabilitation, told newsmen from Pibor. In May, the government alerted the international community to the risk of exceptional floods that were expected to hit the country in the subsequent month. OCHA said that since the raids began, 15 major supply routes have been rendered impossible, affecting the delivery of essential humanitarian aid to some 500,000 people in different parts of the country. This all comes as South Sudan continues to deal with the impact of the 18-month civil war in neighboring Sudan. More than 500,000 Sudanese refugees and returnees from South Sudan have been registered in South Sudan since April last year.
And that's it for now, but do join us at 9 p.m. for our prime time news. My name is Iribami Salako. See you then.